Rugby United New York, or Rooney as they are lovingly called, uh, finishing last season 10-6, 53 points, made it to the semifinals. Unfortunately, just came up short in that semifinals Eastern Conference against Rugby ATL. If you notice, I didn't have a graphic for where their home stadium is going to be this season because they haven't announced it yet, which is kind of odd. Last season, they played in the Cochrane Stadium in New Jersey, which has a 4,000 capacity. Maybe they'll play there. It's interesting that they haven't announced a home stadium because the season is starting very soon. But despite that, I think Rooney has very few problems to worry about, especially when it comes to their team. I feel this is going to be a team to beat. They have a very impressive roster of returning players and new players coming in. So let's dive into who exactly is coming back. First of all, the Butcher, Dylan Fawcett, is returning for Rooney. The 31-year-old captain hooker scored 9 tries, which leads the team last year for Rooney. He has the most tries of all time scored in MLR with 25. Actually, correction, it's tied 25 with Johnny Ryberg from the LA Guiltinis. But Dylan Fawcett, a very, very talented player, has been the team captain of Rooney since the beginning. Great to have him back. And his co-captain has come back as well. Or I'm sorry, his vice-captain has come back as well. Nate Brakely, 32-year-old lock flanker, returning. Nate Brakely leads everybody last year with the most weekly all-MLR 15 selections. Every week, the MLR will pick their top 15 players of the week, and Nate Brakely was selected the most time out of all players. Of course, he finished as a member of the All-MLR first team at the lock position. Very talented player coming out of Dartmouth College, coming back. Carl Pryor is returning. The 30-year-old flanker scored 5 tries for Rooney. Pensia Kakabaluvu, coming back, second year of his contract, 28-year-old winger scored 6 tries, which comes in second most on the team. Fijian-born player, has a lot of experience playing for the Fiji Sevens rugby team. Fausui Fuetai coming back for his second year of his contract. 28-year-old center scored 2 tries. Of course, got to talk about Andy Ellis, former All Black member, a member of the New Zealand national team. 37-year-old scrum half, fly half, scored 5 tries, selected as a MLR all second team for the scrum half position. As I mentioned before, a former All Blacks, 73 caps with the New Zealanders, scored 84 points, loads of experience. And honestly, if you watch a Rooney team, you want him to be on the mic or mic'd up because his talking with the refs and the umpires is just so entertaining. The guy has so much charisma and attitude. It's just a lot of fun to listen to him just harass the umpires. So watch him. A lot of fun to watch. Andy Ellis coming back for Rooney. Harry Bennett returning as well. 31-year-old fly-out fullback. Played backup for Dan Hollinshead, who led the team with the most points scored. Unfortunately, Dan was injured quite a few times, and Harry Bennett proved to be a very valuable backup. Unfortunately, with the loss of Dan Hollinshead leaving MLR, Harry Bennett will obviously have a bigger role to play. Now, let's talk about the members that are coming in now to Rooney. Just announced in a trade, Pago Haini, former number 8 for the LA Guiltinis, American Samoan-born, very aggressive, hard-hitting player, and one of the most charismatic people on the mic. He had a wonderful segment afterwards with Pago with the Guiltinis. I'm curious if he will continue doing that with New York. I'm hoping he does, because even though it's a big loss for us Guiltini fans, it will be very entertaining to watch Pago talk with the New York team after games, because again, very entertaining person, but again, a very entertaining player also on the pitch. Chance Wengluski traded over to Rooney from Atlanta for Evan Minturn, a very talented prop, very young, but already was voted a all first team MLR member at the prop position. And Ed Fido coming in, 28-year-old winger, loads of national experience. He's played for the Samoan national men's team, played in the Rugby World Cup in Japan. He's also played several years in Australia, France, a few years with the Worcester Warriors in England. Loads of experience for a guy who's only 28 years old. He'll bring a lot of that experience to Rooney. And of course, the biggest signing, no offense, Pago, biggest signing for Rooney is Sam Windsor, the top all-time scorer for MLR, the top scoring player last season with 112 points, 34-year-old fly half coming to Rooney from Houston. Windsor and Ellis working together at that scrum half and fly half position. Man, that's going to be a lot of fun to watch and very, very dangerous to opponents. We'll talk about real quick the losses for Rooney. Will Leonard and Evan Minturn both traded over to Atlanta. Hanko Hermeshuis was traded to LA for Pago Haini. As I mentioned before, the loss of Dan Hollinshead and the loss of Ben Foden, the fullback winger who scored 4 tries for Rooney. Both of them have left MLR. Again, this is a team, Rooney, they've lost some players, but the people they brought in to replace those losses are just huge. I feel Rooney looks better this year than they did last year. And they were just one game shy from the championship game. They lost to Rugby ATL in the conference finals, the semifinals of the playoffs. They're just one game short. And I feel with the new improvements, they will give Rugby ATL a run for their money. And who knows, this year, 2022, they may be the better team.